Hello, welcome to my cooking class, my weekly cooking class. My name is Charlotte Habiger, and I am an independent consultant and director with Epicure. I'm very excited to welcome you into my kitchen. My goal in these cooking classes is to help you cook from home healthy meals that take very little time and few ingredients, or whatever you have in your refrigerator and pantry, and that contribute to your health and your overall happiness in life. And I'm a former biochemist transformed into a queen of spices to help you in your kitchen to eliminate toxic ingredients and allow you to live a longer life where you can fulfill your dream projects. So may they be a business or a lifestyle project you're pursuing. So I would love to hear what your life projects are, and let's get cooking. So tonight I'm going to talk about a recipe for tacos that is vegetarian. Actually, it's vegan with some additions if you'd like. You can adapt it to whatever you would like to eat in your tacos and use whatever protein source you want. But my option that I will be demonstrating is vegan. I'd love for you to add in the comments your tips, your favorites for tacos or Mexican inspired cuisine. And let's go. So I'm going to demonstrate a meal that takes less than 15 minutes. The way I'm going to do this is I use Epicure's spice blends. I use Epicure spice blends, and the reason why I use them is because of the ingredients. I'll show you an example. So it looks like a regular kind of thing maybe you could buy in the store, but you cannot buy this in the store. It's really made for people to order and receive at home. So you can order it from Canada or the US, and as you can see, the ingredients, it might be backwards, but I can post it later as well. It's a very short ingredient list, and there's nothing you can't pronounce, and there's nothing of what we used in my lab when I was a biochemist, okay? So I love everything about food and science, but I don't want toxic chemicals in my food, or my children's food, or my family's, or anybody's food on the planet. And this is really simple and easy. You can take it with you to the grocery store when you want to shop, or you can just, it helps you portion the meals as well. So I'm going to show you how to use this one. You can even make it without the Epicure product. The goal for me is to show you that you can make tasty, healthy food without buying what they sell at the grocery store as far as spice blends. And also you don't have to order because it takes less time to make it than to order it. Are you ready to see this? So I'd still like for you to share your tips, your favorite recipes, recipe links, anything you'd like to share in this conversation. So the way I go with it about it is I read the recipe. I never follow it exactly, but I will share it with you. So it says to fry your protein source. So they're suggesting either ground beef or ground chicken, ground turkey, or soy. And I do not use any of those. So I'm going to show you what I use instead. But remember, you can substitute with anything you have that you would like to use in your tacos. This is a spice blend. The way I'm going to do is I'm going to use two kinds of vegetarian or plant-based protein sources. One of them is a portobello mushroom. Where did I put it? Oh, there it is. I prepared everything and I couldn't find it. So this is the mushroom that I use. It doesn't look necessarily so much fun if you've never had one before. It doesn't look so yummy, right? But if you've had it before, what's super cool is when you cut it up in small pieces, or if you even cook it just like this, it looks like a burger. Really, I mean, try it. You have to try this. Fry it in a pan and you'll see it ends up looking like a burger, okay? And if you add burger spices, it really works. And I like to cut it in small pieces, and you could even like hash it up and make like hashed mushrooms or something. Ooh, that sounds a little bit funny. Okay, this is regular food. And then I like to cut it up in small pieces and use it in anything to replace, ground meat. So I'm going to show you how I do that. And the second protein source I'm going to use is some beans that we cooked earlier this week in my home. We cook about every Sunday we cook a whole bag of kidney beans or white beans, or I think these are pinto beans. These are the ones we cooked this week. So I just took some of that. I'm going to use that for my protein source with the mushroom. So the way I do this is it says we need to fry in in the frying pan, I'm going to use the wok. Epicure wok, I show you every time. I use it all day long at home. We have just one thing to cook our food in because we only need one, and it eliminates so much of the space that was taken by all the previous utensils and cooking pots and pans we used to have. So just the wok and a steamer for us is enough for a family to feed us in all of our meals all day that we cook at home. And what I'm going to fry in that pan, in that wok, is my mushroom here. So the way I'm going to do it is, actually, I've been showing you with the ceramic knife. Okay, this is what I usually use because it looks like a toy, but it's super sharp. It's our Epicure signature knife. We also have other knives. And what I'm going to use is our kitchen knife, kitchen scissors. I say knife because it actually works as a knife. You can cut a pizza with it. If you're used to using kitchen shears, you'll know that there are several uses to this, but I'm going to cut up my mushroom with it, okay, and put it in the wok. So I'd love to know, what do you use? What would you use for your taco protein source? So I'm just going to cut this up in little pieces and put it into my wok here. Isn't that fun to just cut it up? You know, I can even get all my frustrations out from the week, right? Thursday night. So you cut it up in little pieces, make sure they're small, not cut my finger, be careful everybody. And I'm going to add, so the original recipe calls for 1.5 pounds of the protein source. I'm not going to make that much tonight because I wanted to make it a quick demo. So if you make it 1.5 pounds of ground meat or ground beef or ground chicken, whatever, if you want to replace that, I would replace it by about the same amount of either mushrooms. It could be regular white mushrooms. You could use beans. You can use canned beans. We just cook some every week, so we happen to always have some in our fridge or freezer. So let me just finish cutting up in small pieces here. It almost looks like meat, right? That's what I find is so funny about these mushrooms. Because of their color and texture, it just works out really well. So I'm going to cut that in small pieces, and I'm going to fry that with the beans. So I'm doing half mushroom, half beans to replace the protein source in my tacos. So a little bit of olive oil. You can add some or not. If I were cooking this in the steamer and the microwave, I wouldn't need any oil. I just like to show you guys the stuff that I do with my wok. So I'm putting in the mushroom, the portobello mushroom, beans, and this replaces the ground meat, ground beef, chicken, turkey, or whatever. That's going to cook for a couple minutes. And then we'll be able to add the seasoning and make our tacos. So I'd like to talk to you about what you can put in your tacos. We can prepare that while that's cooking. It takes a couple minutes. And during that time, we can actually look at what you'll be putting in your tacos. So I'd love to know, what do you put in your tacos? So this is a recipe that takes less than 15 minutes. And I said 3 ingredients because I want you to know there is no obligation to put all the toppings that we see in restaurants in your taco. It can be just a taco, looking for my taco. It could be just a taco and a protein source and the spice blend. I mean, that is a taco. You don't have to have 20 million pretty toppings on top of your taco. However, if you do have them or if you want to add them, you may, of course. So I'd love to know, what are your favorite toppings for tacos? Do you do the classical kind, or would you invent some? Are there some really like special or different kinds of toppings that you use for your tacos? I would love to know that. I'm going to make a basic recipe tonight, so very classic. What I would suggest to add to those 3 ingredients, if you want to make something, you know, yummy and tasty and all that, is I'm going to talk about how to make a salsa. Really quick. It's a less than 5-minute salsa, a 2-minute salsa. I'm also going to talk about how to make a very quick guacamole, also 1 or 2 minutes. And I would suggest adding either some lettuce, or I have baby spinach. You know why I like the baby spinach? I don't have to cut it up. I just take it directly. That's what I like about it. And I'll add also what you could add on top of it, which are non-vegan options. So that's really up to you what you want to add on top of that. So I'm just going to check my protein source, which is the beans and the portobello mushroom. And I'd love to know if you tried portobello mushrooms and It's really a staple food. We eat it twice a week at least at our home. So it's cooking. It already smells good. There's not even a spice mix in there yet. Really excited about this. So let's just read that recipe instruction. I'm frying the protein source. We're going to stir in the seasoning afterwards and add a cup of water and let it simmer for 5 minutes while it thickens. So this is something natural with no chemical, toxic chemical ingredients that will thicken the sauce. And what I wanted to talk about specifically was the sodium or lack thereof. So I would challenge you to find a taco blend with less sodium. Okay, if you find one, let me know. I'd love for there to be more brands actually that have less sodium, so I am not worried about competition. Quite the opposite. I'm worried about the amount of sodium in the food that we buy. It is crazy. There is a statistic that I read in the last 2 years that said that on the planet, we are reaching the point where there are as many people who are dying of hunger than there are people who are dying of malnutrition, like the poor eating habits that we have, especially in North America. So sodium is part of it, along a whole bunch of other things. It's not the one thing, but specifically the fact that sodium is only one kind of element in the sodium in our salt, our table salt, a whole topic for another time. But in Epicure products, there is little to no sodium. So I can show you, although I think that it's backwards for you. But for the sodium we have, and this is with the, you can see what's in the dry mix, and you can also see what's prepared, of course, if you're following the recipe that we suggest. So if you like things that taste salty, and I am a person who does, what's awesome is that if you make something that has very little sodium, not like the store-bought stuff, and you add some salt, it will be yummy, and it will never have as much salt as what you can buy in the stores. And there's no MSG either, so that's like awesome, awesome, awesome. I usually add, after I cooked it, a little bit of our sea salt from Epicure. There's 82 nutrients in sea salt, not just Epicure sea salt. Salt actually has 82 nutrients in it. If you use table salt, there's only one element in it, of the 82 from the original salt. So really, Epicure or not, you need to be using regular sea salt and not table salt. Please don't eat table salt anymore. That's for making crafts for daycare or other things like that, honestly. And then pepper, I use the black pepper. So whole pepper also preserves a lot of the specific benefits of pepper. Of course, you don't have to eat any salt or any pepper. Let me know what your favorites are, if you have something that you like to use to give some taste to your food. So now my protein source, which are beans and portobello mushrooms, are ready. They're cooked. Of course, if it were meat, I'd suggest making sure they're cooked long enough so it takes longer than the vegetarian option I'm showing you. Make sure that your protein source is cooked completely before this next step, okay? So it's ready, and I'm going to add in the seasoning. So it's very simple. This is the hardest part. I have to just cut open the bag. That is my favorite part. It's already in there. It smells so good. I know it's healthy for me too. I'm going to put half of the bag, okay, because I didn't prepare 1.5 pounds of the protein source. So now I'm supposed to add 1 cup of water and let it simmer for 5 minutes. And I'm challenging myself to be done with this whole thing. When the 5 minutes when this comes out, I want everything to be all done in what I'm showing you, because I challenge myself to do recipes in less than 15 minutes. So you want to see that happen? I'm going to add a cup of water. And the way I do that is I use our prep bowls, because I can actually make food in it. I can eat in it. I can put it in the refrigerator or wherever I need. I'm just going to get a cup of water. So wait for me here and write in the comments. I'd love to have your suggestions and questions and ideas as well. I'm back. So here's a cup of water in our protein source. Now, I have 5 minutes to finish here. So quick. 5 minutes to finish here. We can have fun too, right? I like this to be fun. So, honestly, it's actually all ready because I have my protein source almost ready. My taco, I bought a taco, the taco shells. We used to have a tortilla press with Epicure, and we can make our own tortillas. So if you make your own, let me know. And I would add just that for the basic version. What I'm going to do is I'm going to prepare, explain a very quick salsa recipe. So I'm going to take half of this tomato and chop it up, okay, very quickly. And very fast. Like I always say, I'm not really attached to the way it looks. I just want it to be practical, yummy, feed my family. So my tomatoes cut, and I'm going to cut open this avocado. Don't know if you know the little tip about how to get the seed out. Do you have a way to do it? I do. I usually just plant my, I don't usually do it with the ceramic knife though, so I might show you, but I might not do it. With a regular knife, I would just poke the seed and, let's pop it out that way so that I don't get hurt. I just usually don't do it with the ceramic knife because I don't want to break the knife, because ceramic knives are made of ceramic, so they can break. And I'm going to use that to remove the avocado. So I have an avocado. I'm going to cut it up and then mash it. I actually like to use our masher. I just forgot to get it out. Of course, I call it a masher. You guys know I don't always use the right words for things, right? I invent my words all the time. So if you want to know what the actual name of this utensil from Epicure is, just send me a message, or you can even add it in the comments if you know it. So I like to mash the avocado. And then what I'm going to do is put the tomato and the avocado each in a prep bowl. So I have, 2 minutes left? 2.5 minutes left? Am I going to make it? Am I going to make it? So I put the avocado, the mashed avocado, in one of my prep bowls, and I'm putting the tomato in the other prep bowl, the half of the tomato in the other prep bowl, because I'm making half of a recipe of tacos. And this is another one of those really easy steps, okay? So all I have to do is add my salsa mix. Again, not with any of the toxic chemicals and everything. This lasts forever. This jar lasts forever. And I add a little bit, just a little bit, because it's very spicy. It's called poco picante, but for whatever reason, it's very, very spicy. It's one of the most popular products in Epicure. That's for the salsa, that and the tomato, and you have salsa. And you can't actually see what I'm doing. Sorry about that. So tomatoes cut up and the salsa mix, and then guacamole mix in the avocado chopped up. You can measure it. There's a recipe on the jar just so you see what it's like. This is my future salsa. This is my future avocado. All I have to do now is mix it up. So I'm going to do that. And one thing I'd like to do before that is I add a little bit of lemon juice. I'm going to use my citrus press. And I wanted to show you that actually if you do not have a lemon at home, but you want to add something on top of your salsa or avocado, you do not need to. You don't have to have the lemon juice. But if you want to, I sometimes use, if I'm out of lemons, or the store is, like it's been a couple times, I actually use an avocado, orange. I cut it in 4 pieces, and I could actually do that right now. I'll do that this time. So usually it would be a lemon. You cut this in 2. But I'm going to cut the orange in 4. You could even use grapefruit. You could use any citrus fruits. So this is not the normal way of doing this, okay? This is the scientist way of doing this. But you can copy me if you want. And I just use the orange instead of a lemon, okay? So I make my orange juice for my salsa and my avocado. And yes, it is very yummy. It's very good. And now all I have to do is mix it up. So I probably have like 30 seconds left to win my challenge. with what we've done because I'm almost done. I have my protein source that was cooked in the wok. That was my beans and mushrooms. You could have used ground beef if you wanted to, 1.5 pounds. I did half a recipe, so I put half of my taco blend from Epicure. You can use other, spice blends if you want, but I explained why I use those. And then I now added a cup of water and the spice blend, and everything is ready. It takes 5 minutes to simmer. So it's all ready now. And I'm going to show you that. The pan on here. This is my beans and portobello mushrooms. And now I'm going to show you the fun part is how you build the taco. Well, actually the funnest part is eating it, okay? But I also made the salsa with half a tomato chopped, the spice blend, and some orange juice that I just showed you with the citrus press. Guacamole made with avocado kind of mashed up quickly, and just my spice blend and some orange juice with the citrus press. And everything's all ready. So how I'm going to do this is I might need a little plate or something. Let's get that here. That fits. Doesn't fit very well. So I have my little plate here. I'll hold it so it doesn't fall. The way I do it is I add my spinach, like I said, because I don't want to have to cut the lettuce. I'm lazy like that. And then on top of that, I add the protein, which is my mushrooms and beans. This is the way I do it. How do you layer your tacos? Like, do you have a way that you layer them? Do you have like a routine way? So I have the lettuce. I don't know if you can see it very well. The lettuce, and on top of that, you have the beans. And on top of that, I'm going to add the tomato. And then the avocado. The guacamole, actually. And if you want to, if you're not making it vegan, because up until now it's vegan, you can add some yogurt on top. Or if you're trying to stop cheese like I am, but you still want a little bit of something that tastes like cheese, we have our nacho cheese mix that has some cheese, because most of our products are actually vegan. Like the majority of our products with Epicure are vegan. No animal products of any kind. But this one, called nacho cheese, also has a little bit of where's the ingredient here? Parmesan cheese. But it's just that it tastes like cheese. Like, it has a little taste. So what I do when I want to cheat, like when I'm not ready to give up cheese yet, I'm on the way. The way I do it is I sprinkle a little teeny tiny bit of our nacho cheese mix, because it has that taste, the umami taste of the cheese. You can also, if you really are not eating cheese, you could replace it with some yeast blend. We have yeast blends as well, and that does give the same little taste in your mouth. So I just sprinkle a little bit on top. And then my taco, I could add salt and pepper like I suggested earlier. And then, the part that I like, I wish I could share it with you, but unfortunately our cooking classes are all virtual right now, which gives me the benefit of meeting you. Perhaps I would never have met you, though at the same time, it no longer gives me the opportunity to go into your kitchen in person. So I hope you'll continue to let me visit you in your kitchen and in my kitchen through the screen. I would love to have your suggestions, your comments, and your questions, because I want this to be an ongoing conversation with you. I want your suggestions for the next cooking class, and I'd love to connect with you. Let me know if you'd like to see an online catalog. Let me know if you'd like any of the recipes I've used, and I look forward to connecting with you soon. Take care.